As the Southeast struggles back to its feet from the worst natural disaster to hit America in our lifetimes, how do we keep faith and heal the soul when such terrible things happen to so many good people? We'll ask one of the world's great spiritual leaders, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and one of America's top evangelicals, Pastor Joel Osteen. Your Holiness, how do you explain someone who believes in a higher being allowing this to happen to good people?
As a Buddhist, we believe law of causality, causes, conditions, causes and effect go like that. That means things happen due to their own previous action or karma.
Pastor Joel Osteen is in the Astrodome. How do you respond to that same question? The Buddha said it's the natural evolvement of things. What does the pastor say?
What I believe from the Christian faith is that, God is in control. I think that when we come out of this, we know that God is right there with us.
If He's a good God and He's on your side, why did He flood New Orleans, something He could have prevented?
The Bible says God's ways are not our ways. He works in mysterious ways, and I think that's where a lot of people get hung up. But, part of trusting God is having faith in the tough times, and I think that's what we do as Christians right now.
Your Holiness, what do you say to Americans who have faced so much in the last 4 years? 4 years ago today, the tragedy in New York, and now this. What do you say?
September 11th event. That is a man-made disaster. And our current disaster, that is a natural event. I think very important, this moment, should not lose hope. Now these people must rebuild their new home and prosperity or future, new future.
Pastor, would you agree that hope is a prime message, and do you think it works?
Hope is what all we have in times like this, and of course we put our hope in a living God, and you'd be amazed at how the tide is turning.
Pastor Osteen, what are your followers doing?
We have reached out to the evacuees here at the Dome and the other convention center to feed them every day and to provide volunteers to comfort them, to be there to listen to them, to encourage them, to try to refresh and restore their souls.
I know what goes around comes around, and there's the natural evolvement of order, but the loss of a child, isn't that difficult to explain to yourself? The loss of a child.
Try to minimize mental anxiety or mental suffering. If your mind totally dominated by sadness or trauma, then that will be, I think, great hindrance about the rebuild your life.
Let's take a call. Detroit, hello.
Hello. I wanted to ask the Dalai Lama, besides my regular daily practice and meditations, what would he suggest as a additional daily practice for me to do for those who are suffering because of Katrina?
I think this kind of situation is, I think, a prime opportunity to carry act of compassion. And I think by nature, meditation, something like recharge.
We want to thank you, Your Holiness, and also Pastor Osteen.